the recording. Okay, so yesterday we have created some simple dashboards, not dashboards, simple analysis basically, and we have saved all the analysis in the shared folders, custom tech patch 3, and here are some dashboards, some reports or analysis that we got created. And yesterday we created this analysis, RB Tech Patch 3 analysis. So it is a simple analysis that we have created yesterday by combination of multiple views. And all these views, basically the table or chart or gauge or the trellis, are all these based on only one. If you click on edit here, all these views are based on one a subject area basically. So that's what we have created, right? So yeah, I'm editing it. Oh, I'm opening it up. These are all based on only one subject area called workforce worker assignment area, subject area, right? So let us say if we have a requirement in such a way that we want it not necessary whatever columns we needed may belongs to one subject area. Maybe we have some data in this subject area, some columns in this subject area, and we have other columns or other data available in other subject area. What if you wanted to bring data from other subject area as well? Okay, data alone is not sufficient to build our analysis. Maybe you wanted to bring data from other subject area too. How can you do that? Okay, so for that, typically what you need to do, you can add multiple subject areas to the same analysis. For that, we have to follow few rules. Okay, and before that, how do you add another subject area to the existing analysis? You can click this and we have something called add or remove subject area, and you can add another subject area to this analysis. Okay, so you can add it. You can choose whatever subject area you want. You can choose it. So internally what happens? When we choose one subject area, already Oracle has the internal queries written to pull the data out of the database. It has its own physical layer, business layer, and presentation layer. And whatever we are seeing in the front end is now actually only presentation layer. Business layer and physical layer are hidden in the middleware that won't show up. Only Oracle exposes the subject areas in the presentation layer. So if you wanted to add another subject area to this existing analysis, you can always do that. But while adding it, to make things to work, you have to follow certain rules. Rule number 1, add it. You can add any subject area provided that subject area should have at least one dimension. Basically, I call subfolders as dimension. These are all dimensions. So whatever subject area you choose, that subject area should have at least one of these same dimensions: job, legal employer, location. At least one dimension should be in common. Only then you could able to add another subject area to your analysis. Okay, and if you don't have the, that is the primary rule. If you don't have the common dimensions between those two subject, example, I have the subject area workforce management, worker assignment, real time. Let me click create new analysis. I just won't want to disturb this one because I want to use this in my dashboard. So I will go ahead and let me create some, let us say, let me create something from let me get something which I know. So what I will do, I will go and create one subject area with worker assignment, employee subject area, and then I'm going to create new analysis here. I will just quickly go through add the employee information quickly. let us say first name, last name, and person number, something like that. And also I will add add some job probably. So I have added it from this subject area. Now I want to add salary of the employee. Can I find the salary of the employee here? I don't find salary in any of these dimensions. Basically, I can't find it. So this subject area doesn't have salaries. So I want to add salaries. As salaries is not available in subject area, salaries is available in another subject area where compensation subject area. So what I can go here and look for my compensation salary subject area, and I can click on it and I can add it. So what happens? I will have two subject areas now, subject area 1 and subject area 2. So internally, Oracle, what it should do, this OTBI engine should able to combine these two subject areas together internally. To make those two subject areas bind together, typically prior to release 12, there are a few more steps apart from having the common dimension. Example, this subject area has some dimensions here. And if you open this one, this also has some dimension. Example, department is here, job is here, legal employer here. Same thing is available here as well, department, job, legal employer. So same dimensions are available, at least some dimensions are available. So these two things will work together. These two things will work together. Example, let me open my so here tree should have common dimensions. If along with this is primary steps, if they have common dimensions, your analysis will work seamlessly without any issues. Prior to release 12, release 13, we used to have one more a step to take care. Whenever you use two subject areas, two or more subject areas, go to Advanced tab, turn on the Enable Dimensionality flag. So if this step is necessary prior to release 13, but now it is not necessary. So whenever you choose two subject areas, go to Advanced tab, and here we have something called we have advanced SQL in the dimensionality. In the dimensionality, we have to enable this one. So if there are more than one subject area, typically we have to check this one so that Oracle will take extra precaution while querying the data from multiple subject areas. It's just a necessary precaution, but it is no more necessary to do that basically. But I keep following this procedure as and when I do more than one subject areas. Again, now I just choose it from a first subject area. Now I will choose data from the second subject area. I'll go to salary, and here I will just pull the analyze salary information here. Now if I go to results, typically it should combine the data from multiple subject areas together and should be able to pull the data. So I got the data here. Okay, so that's what typically we have to follow when we have more than two subject areas. The first step is they should have the common dimensions. Second step is to, in the advanced condition, enable the dimensionality. And third step, typically, sometimes you won't see the expected results. Sometimes, if example, if we combine very different kind of subject areas, sometimes you feel some, you might feel some, you might get some issues basically. So in that case, Oracle has one more shortcut. What typically you can do if you have more than one subject areas, what Oracle recommends, bring at least one derived column. At least bring at least one measure from each subject area. Example, in the workforce management worker assignment, get some measure. Where can you get the measure? You will have measures in at least some like this is a measure, right? Get it at least one measure from first subject area and another measure from second subject area. Get it? So we have already have another subject area here. So at least bring two measures from each subject area. Then Oracle internally, if you bring measures, it's not a straightforward column. It actually internally engine applies an additional criteria on top of it, which will help us to again combine the two subject areas together. So it is another precaution. You can bring it, but you no need to show it. You can you can hide it basically. So though it will, you can get it, you'll hide it basically. Once you hide it, it won't show up in the results column basically. So that's what you have to do. That's another precaution you have to take. Okay, right. So let me do one thing. Let me quickly save this, and then be his salary. I will just keep it. Okay. So now I have created a couple of subject areas. One is from HR, one is from journals. I think we have created something from general ledger journals. Journals subject area, we have one analysis got created, and till yesterday we created one analysis from HCM, and also I have quickly created one analysis from sales. So multiple modules I have created simple analysis. So now the next step, so we create analysis. What we do with this basically? So typically what we have varied number of options. Apart from the visual richness or whatever we can do in the analysis, there are varied number of options given to us to play around with this multiple analysis. Maybe our requirement is to combine the multiple analysis together into one common place and show it to the user. Example, we have the company CFO, maybe Chief Financial Officer. Maybe that person should able to get the general account created by currency or HR information or sales information at one single place, right? So if you want to combine the multiple analysis together, not only analysis, whenever I say analysis, nothing but a OTBI, this kind of reports basically. If you want to combine multiple analysis together, typically in those cases, we use the dashboard. Dashboard is the place where we can present the data. Once we decide typically how we do this reporting. At the beginning, we decide what we wanted to derive. Then we decide how do you want it to derive. Once we decide the columns, then we'll decide how the visual representation should happen. Once the analysis is derived, how we can combine this multiple analysis together and present it in one single place, and how effectively you can present it. So that is the place where dashboard is very effective, where you can create multiple reports, multiple analysis into one common point. Okay. So for that, typically, till now we have seen how to create analysis and how to create filter, and then it's dashboard. There's something called dashboard prompt. So dashboard prompt typically when it is useful is, example, in our previous class for the general ledger analysis 1, we have created a prompt. Basically, we have created a prompt where you can choose the currencies. You can choose all currencies, and once you choose the currencies, typically what is happening, the report is coming up. This is one report we have created at the beginning of our OTBI sessions, right? Here what we did, here we have created a prompt. Basically, how that choosing the currencies came up, because we created a prompt here. So here is a prompt, this prompt, and this prompt actually we created as a column prompt. So, right, so we created as a column prompt, and it is based on this ledger currency, basically ledger currency. So that is the reason that prompt got created. This prompt also, once if it is created, we can use the same prompt in the multiple analysis. That is called this prompt basically. And we have different other varieties of prompts. Basically, we have something called variable prompt. What variable prompt is nothing but a presentation variables. Okay, so presentation variables is something typically in the OTBI reporting. Typically, we have different kinds of variables. One is column variables, Next one is the presentation variables. Next one is system variables. And we have something else called repository variables. So typically is what is a variable? Basically, let us say example, I will go back to my analysis that I had created just now. That is the employee salary. So here, let us say I wanted to get salary of all employees whose salary change date, maybe whose salary, example, we have salary. In that, we have something called maybe we wanted to know whose salary change date, probably whose salary change date is greater than, I mean, whoever has salary changes happened in the last 1 year, I want those people only. I don't want any people whose salary changed before 1 year. I want to know all the employees whose salary changed in the last 1 year. How do we get that? Okay, so if those kind of scenarios, basically you can rely on some. When you say dates, you're talking about last 1 year. When you say last 1 year from what date? From the current date. So current date is system variable. Okay, you can get of you can get the whole salary change date is greater than current date minus 365, right? That is nothing but the that's the filter I can apply. So can we apply that? Can we apply that condition directly like that? Let us say I can go to the filter and I wanted to get salary is greater than. I can hard code it like this. I can hard code all salary change happened greater than 5/15 2017. It will work out. But what if I run tomorrow, then this criteria should not look at 5/15 2017. It should look at 5/16 2017, right? As and when I run the analysis, it should look at the current date minus 365. In that case, I have to rely on the current date variable, basically. So, okay, then what I can do, I can go and convert this into SQL, and I could say if salary change date is greater than date of 2017 5/15. Okay, so maybe I would say we have some system variables available in the OTBI, like current underscore date. Okay, and sys user is means current user. Okay, let us say OBI system variables. So no. So we have something called it's okay. So let me. So we have something called let us say salary change date. Typically, what happens? I can use current underscore date minus 365, but in OTBI that functionality don't work basically. To play with the dates, OTBI has something called OTBI, nothing but OBIE. OBIE is not primarily the Oracle. If you go to the history, OBI is not primarily belongs to the Oracle product. OBI is a product bought by Oracle long time ago. So that is the reason whatever typical database operations we use in our traditional Oracle databases, same functionalities cannot be applied in case of OBIE. So this current date minus 365 won't work. So we have a function called, I think if I noted it somewhere. I forgot that quickly. I will get that. So in OBIE, the data functions typically, sorry for that. I should have kept it in hand. So typically, if you wanted to get the differences, get the subtractions, additions, typically we have to use timestamp difference function. Basically, current date, current time, these things will work. But typically, in our case, we wanted to subtract current date, 365 days, current date minus 365. So in that case, basically, we have to use timestamp, add a timestamp difference functionalities. Typically, these things will help us. These things will help us to identify the difference between the two timestamps, basically. So, or we have the timestamp addition. So basically, we have to add timestamp add. What is the interval? I want to interval as a day, and with 365 days, and minus 365 days, and timestamp as current date. So let us say, let me take this one. Prepare this. So we have to take the day here. Interval is day, and I would say that is the current date, and I would say minus 365. The second, minute, hour, whatever date you want, and whenever you want to convert the current date to the timestamp, you have to use function timestamp and the date. So you have, this is the format you have to use. So what typical legacy functions what we use in our database, Oracle database, those things won't work here. That is one thing you have to keep in mind. So I'm using timestamp add days, that is 365 minus 365 days and current dates. Okay, let's go and run it. So it should typically go and do the same thing, get a salary change which is greater than the 365 days. So this current date are this is one system variable basically. And also while using the dates, make sure you use these functions whenever you play around with the dates. It will be easy for you to work around with. That is one thing. It is called a system variable. Let us say I don't want to find the, I would maybe dynamically I want to give a date. Any salary changes happened 365 days past of the date. I want to pass this date dynamically. I wanted to pass this date dynamically as a parameter at runtime. Okay, I don't want its current date. Whatever date I wanted, whatever date I entered, then whatever changes, whatever salaries changes happened past 1 year after date, I want that. So in that case, typically you have to rely on a other variable, not a system variable, some user variable. That variable is called presentation variable, basically. For that, instead of that, what I wanted to do, I need to, instead of current date, I need to use my own date, right? In that case, we have to create the prompt. So we know how to create the column prompt. Next, we have to create the variable prompt. It is called presentation variable. Here I can say, let us say, prompt for effective date, something like that. Okay, so effective date, and it is a data type should be the date and time. It requires user input. You can say that and is it text field a choice list? I will keep as a text field. And default selection, do you want default to anything? I don't want default to anything. Maybe I can default to system. I mean, if you say server variable, you can variable to current date. We can do that. And you want the width, you can keep it like this. So that is what I wanted to. Okay, so yeah, sorry. I kept it. So I got effective date. So how do I use this effective date in my, let me do one thing. Let me make this as, oh, let me keep it just box only. So I kept it. So now I want to use this effective date in my function. Like how I need to do, salary change rate should be effective date minus 365. Okay, how do you get that basically, right? For that, typically we cannot use like this. It won't identify it. It will look, if you give a plain text like this, it will identify it as a system variable and look in the system variable repository whether it is there or not. If it is not there, then it is going to give the impact. So that is the reason typically what you need to do. Typically any presentation variables will have a proper syntax. That syntax is include these two things in the braces and at the beginning just append at the rate of. So it is the syntax to identify that as a presentation variable. Okay, I always get confused with this. Yeah, oh sorry, you see that? It should be like this. So it should be like this. So it is a syntax, and make sure both are included in the single quotes. So we have to follow this syntax. Now we will identify it as a presentation variable. As I said, OBI is not an Oracle product. So whatever syntax is little bit different than the Oracle traditional database here. So it will identify as a effective date. So I have changed it. Now it will think as a presentation variable. If I save it, and you won't find it now. If you go to results, you will get inconsistent results because it won't identify it as a presentation variable now. It will give an error. So typically you have to go to home and you have to run that. So go here and open it now. Now it will ask for the parameter here. Here we have to provide the parameter so that the format should be, this is the kind of format we have to give. So okay, not a valid date and time and value. I'm not good in this, especially OBA dates. Let me I don't note it anywhere. Okay, let me give as a date actually. So let me go back and let me, instead of date and time, let me make it as just date. Prompts, and instead of date and time, I will just make it as date. And so here also I will just try to modify it just to greater than effective date. I won't convert it into the timestamp. And I will save it. I'll go to home and I will try to run it. So here I will give the date in the format of, what is the format I need to give the date? I need to remember. Sorry, so I'll try it, else we will try this tomorrow. I will check it out. Yeah, finally I'm able to. Okay, so let me try this one. So what is happening? Salary change date is greater than. Date well does not match the specified format. Okay, let me quickly check this one, and I will show this tomorrow. So for now, I just want to introduce what is the presentation variable and what is the system variable. Maybe I should have taken the stringer number. It will be easy for us to demonstrate. Okay, so that just the variables basically. So both the cases, what I have done in the both the cases, I have created them as a prompts basically. Both of them I created as a prompts, and those prompts I have created in the analysis, but I can create these prompts individually and apply those prompts to any analysis or to any dashboard. I can do that. That is nothing but this dashboard prompt. If you click on this dashboard prompt, typically the same thing. You have to choose. You have to figure out your. You have to figure out your subject area, and once you figure out your subject area, typically you have to. You can go ahead and create the prompts, and you save the prompt alone. Same thing. Whatever you are having, you can save the prompt alone with this subject area, and then you can apply this prompt to any dashboard or to any analysis, similar to the filter. That's the meaning of it basically. So you can keep it and you can use it at later point of time basically. That's the meaning of it. If you save it, then it will save as a prompt. I can save it as a prompt as legal employer prompt, and I can apply this prompt to any analysis or any dashboard. Okay. Right now, as I was saying at the beginning, the dashboard. So dashboard typically where we can combine multiple analysis at one place, right? So is a dashboard. Once you ask for dashboard, it will ask to create an empty dashboard, or do you want to create the dashboard later? So I'm going to create the dashboard as rainbow dashboard. That is, I want the build dashboard for HCM, sales, and finance. Okay. So, and where do you want to save it? I want to save it as shared folders, apps library dashboards, or do you want to share the shared folders, custom dashboards, or wherever you wanted to share? Typically, how would we need to share it is basically whatever dashboards you create, it's better to share it in the custom dashboards here. At last, do you want to add the content now or do you want to add the content later? I want to add the content now. Okay. Now, what I will maybe how I want to display my reporting basically. Maybe I want to display my reporting. Maybe I wanted first page, I want to give some description. And second page, I wanted to add HCM specific analysis. And third page, I wanted to add finance analysis. And fifth page, I wanted to add some sales analysis, some visual representation typically. For that, you can typically make use of these objects. Okay, so these objects, first thing is a column. So any component you want to place, any component, that component can be analysis, can be a report, be a publisher report, or can be any other hyperlinks or any other things should be placed in a columns basically. So you can choose one column here and you can keep multiple columns as well. Multiple columns means you can keep the column at the bottom as well. And you want to make these two columns like this. And in individual column, you can also keep sections. Section 1, section 2, section 3, and each section you can add the data, whatever you in the shared folders, whatever analysis we have placed. Those analysis can be, so we have placed some analysis here. Whatever analysis you have placed, you can keep bringing those analysis here. So let us say I wanted to the tech patch 3, we have many analysis created here, and whatever analysis you wanted to bring, you can just go here and you can drag and drop this analysis here. So it means section 1 has analysis, and section 2, you can have multiple analysis here. Example, if I wanted to bring journal analysis 2, and you want to, these two analyses come one another, at the top and bottom level, or you wanted to bring these things together into horizontal. Horizontal, we can when we enable this horizontal, basically these two things will be displayed at side by side. That's the meaning of it. So now, as I said, what I wanted to do at the first page, I want to just give the description, and second page I want to create another page, and another page I want to give data for HCM. Okay, and in the third third page I wanted to give data for finance, and the fourth page I want to give data for sales. I wanted to give data like that. Okay, I'm in page 1 now. Page 1, I just want to give the description here, so I don't want to give this analysis here now. I will take out this analysis. I just want to get the description of my my dashboard, whatever I'm trying to create. Okay, so I kept one column and kept one section 1. In this section 1, I will just try to create some text here. I can drop a text here. In the text, I can write some text here. I can write some text. Welcome to Rainbow dashboard. Keep mentioning it as long as whatever you want. And if you wanted to make it more visual way, you can make it as a HTML markup, and you can write down your HTML statements. You can do that. HTML body. And we can yeah, basically you don't need to write. So typically you can go to the HTML editors, and you can go to HTML editors, double to the schools, and typically you can typically use the editors where you can write the statement. Those statements will be converted into these headings, basically. So do we have better editors than this? I use some editors basically where actually I write the statements in my text pad, and those things will be converted into this HTML file basically. So typically it is my it is opening up. It is my text pad here. So typically I can write here, welcome to Rainbow dashboard. So typically if you wanted to make it bold, automatically it will keep drawing here. And if you wanted to increase the size, you can sorry. You can increase the size here basically, and you wanted to keep some color formatting, and keep some color formatting, and underline whatever you wanted to, and just copy this one and go here and just keep it here, and automatically preview it. Then automatically data will come here, something like that. So yeah, welcome to Rainbow dashboard. I got my text here, and I'll create one more section here. And in this section again, maybe I will keep some, I can keep anything. Maybe I can keep some link to my I can keep my web page directly. Basically I can go here and I could say Rainbow Training Institute. I could take my this URL and I go here and I could say this URL embeds an application. Maybe I can make it a little bit bigger. I can say like this. So I have two things, text and my content. I can embed the videos as well. You can embed video as well to say what is your what is this about. And if you want to test it, you can quickly go and run it. Typically, it will go and show how it will look like. So typically, my web page didn't come up. Maybe should come up. Okay, and other way I follow here is I typically embed the videos. To embed the videos, typically you can embed any YouTube videos. Typically you have to do the same thing. You have to get the text. I will get the text basically, and in the text typically I can write a typical HTML code to embed the videos. Typically, if you want HTML embed videos, you can take some example. So example, you have this, you can take this one and you can embed it. You can preview it. So typically it will embed video like this. So if I go and run it, typically I can see my video got embedded here. So, and maybe you can visually represent what is your dashboard is about, and you can you can you can keep it about description of your dashboard. So I will remove this one. So it is I will remove this section as well. I will have, this is my home page basically, where my text and description of my the video basically. And the page one is there. Let me change the name of the page one. Basically, I wanted to keep this one as um, how I can change the properties. Okay, let me keep it like this. And next HCM, what I wanted to do in HCM, I wanted to keep my HCM analysis here. So I have my analysis in the Salesforce, sorry, in the custom. And the custom we have tech patch 3, and that we have some analysis created for the HR. Before that, I need to bring my column, and then I get my section. In that section, I will drag and drop this one. So I got my analysis got created, and I have my analysis created here. So this is one thing, and in the finance, yes, I want to save it. So in the finance, I will have one more column and keep a section, and I have general analysis here, and also I have general analysis too. I can drag and drop both into one section, and I have something for sales, the one I created for the sales. So sales one. So again, get the column and get the section and get the sales one. I have all those three got created at one place. Now I can save it, and I can run it basically. So typically what happens, it has three things. Page one is the my dashboard and something, and second HCM, I will have my analysis, whatever I created will come up in my second page. It's still populating. And in the third page, typically I have my finance report. Typically this is my HCM analysis, and I can play around with my analysis here. It will keep working. And similarly, I go to finance. In the finance, I have the two analyses got created. This is the first one, and the second one. Yeah, it is the first one. It is the second one. So if I go and choose the currencies, probably this one will come up. The second one here. So return, if you go return, then it will return back to those two analysis whatever we have created. And the last one is sales. And here we have the sales analysis created, whatever we have created for the sales analysis. Okay. Now, so the typical dashboard, typically we do create. Now, there are a few more things in the dashboard, what you can see there. Typically in my dashboard, probably I wanted to keep we have few more analysis left actually in the HCM example. In HCM, we have created we got only one analysis, and we have couple more analysis left over in my tech batch 3 folder, right? So, and those analysis has their own importance. Maybe you wanted to bring those analysis here based on their importance. This example, maybe absence or some other analysis, RB employee salary. So what I will do, I will provide a links to those analysis here. Maybe I'll get one more section at the top of this one. And here I will have an action link menu. I can keep it here. What this action link menu will do, click on this properties, you can give a menu label. Let us say HR reports, maybe caption, can say HCM whatever, you can mention it. And here I can give links to these multiple reports, whatever I create, absence one and RB employee salary, like that. So here I can give an action link. What is the link text you wanted to give? The link text I wanted to give as absence report by country or whatever, by country. And here we have something called new action. What action you wanted to perform? So if you click on the action, what do you want it to go? You want to go to a web page? Do you want to go to a BI content? Do you want to invoke any other web service? Do you want to invoke a browser script, server script, HTTP request? Basically, HTTP request and Java method, server scripts. Those three things we may not be used, but we could use BI content, web page, web service, and browser scripts. Browser script, nothing but a JavaScript. So typically, I want to bring absence one. So I will go to navigate to BI content, and here I will choose what content should be pulled up when I click on that one. So I click on the custom, and in that we have the tech patch tree, and in the absence is my analysis. I will go and choose my analysis, and that's my analysis basically. So I choose it. When I click on the analysis, do you want to open in a new window or in the same window? And add to the briefing book. Briefing book, actually, I will explain at the end. Briefing book, actually, what we can do, the importance of briefing book is you can combine whatever reports, analysis, everything together into one PDF file and deliver the PDF file to the respective participants or any people. Or typically what briefing book will do, HR or financial analyst or financial or sales analyst will typically end of the month, they will combine all the reports together into one PDF file and present it to the higher management. That is the briefing book basically. And the briefing book can be updated as and when the data is getting updated. I will talk about briefing book at the end. And show link. Do you want to show the link always, or do you want to show it conditionally? Maybe sometimes if my primary, whatever my dashboard I am working on, basically if you want to create some filter, or you want to select a condition, basically we have seen we creating filters from the last classes, right? So we can choose the conditions here. So in the last class we have created some filters. Oh no, we create some filters in the tech match. Did we create any filter? I think we did. So if you create any filters, typically we can choose those filters here, and only once that condition is satisfied, this link will work. Else this link won't work basically. So that is what it is, and I'm clicking on OK. Oh no, it should be always OK. And that is my link, first link. And the link text I wanted to link text should be absence report. Okay, and I want to add one more called choose the analysis. Navigate to BA content and go to another report, employee salary, and we have options here. Do you want it to run the, whenever you run the analysis, do you want to say, are you want to invoke this action, and what title you want to say invoke action? When I say, are you want to invoke this action, and action, you want to keep any help text there, and link URL. Typically, when the analysis is created, we have the link here, so we can keep the link URL here. Typically, we already chosen this analysis here. The link will get created automatically. And do you want to keep any execute button text here? Or do you want to click on the link and automatically opens up in a new page? Or opens up new page means open new window basically. So you can keep any of these actions. And yeah, so I would say salary analysis. So click OK. So I got two reports already. Click on OK. So I'm giving action link here. Now under that I have my section. So typically a menu will be created here, and then my analysis at the bottom. So if I click and run again, typically here we have the HCM analysis. Under that we have HR reports. Under HR reports we have the two reports, absence and employee salary report basically. So what's happening? Absence and employee salary analysis. If I click on the absence report, a new window will open up, and there actually a new window is opening up here. In this new window we have the absence report get created here. So, and similarly for that another one, employee salary analysis, a new window will get created, and it will have the data come up here. So that is other way. And also we have few more actions here. I'm hitting the dashboard. So action link menu. Action link menu is set of actions. Action link is nothing but one action basically. If you click on action link, basically you can mention only one action. Okay. So and we have something called linker image. Basically we can embed a link. Basically you can enable a linker image at the here. Basically I wanted to create a link here, linker image, and this basically I wanted to do you want to keep a link to another dashboard, or do you want to keep keep it just a URL? You can give the URL here, and you can do many more basically. Or you can collect an image here. So choose an image probably. If you have your company image, basically you can have that company image, and then you can add here. So I will just add an image here after the caption or before the caption. So above or below the caption, maybe above the caption, maybe. Like this. So here we have kept that in the horizontal way. So click on the run. So here, if you see those two things in that column, these two are kept in the two columns basically. That is the reason this logo came here. It came up here. You can always adjust the height and length and height of that, and you can play around accordingly. Okay, so the reason these two things came side by side, because at the columns, at the column level, at the section level, we have kept it as this column layout. That's why these two things came side by side, because both are under same column. Sorry, same section basically. Section 1, both are there. Okay, so and we have one more thing here, folder. Basically, what you can do, folder basically where you can let me keep one more section here at the bottom. This folder, what it will do, it will give the hierarchy of all the reports basically. I am messing up actually. Section 1. Okay, so what I will do, I would add one more section at the bottom, and here I will just add a folder here. This folder structure, nothing but what folders you wanted to show up. Maybe I wanted to show all my custom folder there. So maybe I wanted to show all my tech batch 3 folder there. I wanted to give access to all my reports there. And I wanted to expand it by default. And I wanted to show RSS link. Actually, that's actually what we can do whenever. I'll show you what is that. So I'm going to run it. If you run it, typically what is happening, so we have this one at the bottom, we have the whole folders showing up here. Typically what you can do, you can click on this one and automatically that will open. That report will keep running and the data will keep displaying basically. That's what's happening here. And you can return back. And if you see the bottom, you can see the navigation from what page to what page you came up. And also you can do the subscription. Basically, you can subscribe to these feeds. So whenever, if any of this report will get changed, whenever any report is getting modified, typically you will get the alert on your homepage. Basically, that is called this subscribe to this feed. Okay. So always use live bookmarks to subscribe to feeds. So whatever report you wanted to, those things will show up in your homepage. Basically, that's the use of it. And there's one more last one, which is very important in this, which actually I didn't talk about it, the alerts. So alert section will be more meaningful when I talk about how to schedule the dashboard or how to schedule the analysis and how I can deliver the analysis to the respective person basically. So typically once we schedule analysis, which I will talk about later, once we schedule analysis, basically scheduling analysis is a little bit different than the legacy way of doing it. Basically, we won't schedule this dashboard or analysis just like that. We create an agent for that. Who is an agent? Agent will take care of running this. Let me save it. And I will take out this folder structure. So what happens is how we schedule analysis at dashboard. Basically, so we have seen how to create the analysis and what is the security behind that, and what is subject area, how to create dashboards. Typically, how do we schedule the analysis to run on daily basis or on frequent basis? How do you do that? Okay, so how we can do that is typically to schedule any analysis. Example, let us say I have this analysis. I want to schedule this analysis on daily basis basically. So typically what I need to do, I need to click on schedule. In the schedule, typically what it happens is it typically creates an agent actually. What this agent will do, this agent actually runs this analysis on behalf of you and deliver to the respective recipients or destinations. And not only that, whoever has access to, we can define access to these agents. Whoever has access, they can go and subscribe to that agent. If they go and subscribe, Typically what happens is whoever got subscribed, they will get the notifications of the report changes, and they will also get the data as per the schedule this agent is being running. So that is called subscription. Typical reporting, a typical other way is just a one-way communication. We just deliver to that respective people, whoever we decide as the recipients. In case of the agent, basically, whoever has access to the BS server, whoever has access to these agents, whatever we define, anyone can go to the BS server. If they see an agent running, they can go and subscribe to the agent saying that, hey, whenever you run, please send a copy to me. Or, hey, whenever you run, please alert me on the screen. That is the alert, what we are seeing in the dashboard just a few minutes back. That alert is meant for that. So if you want to get an alert, basically you have to subscribe to this agent. Similarly, whoever recipients, we are saying that this report has to be delivered, even those recipients will get alert in the BI homepage saying that, hey, agent has run yesterday, and it is the result. That's what it show up. Okay, let's see this. Here, this whole sub descriptions will also be available at the top. General, schedule, condition, delivery content, recipient, destinations, actions, all these things will show up here as well. So general. And by the way, I don't have class today, other class, so I can continue for some time. And the general, we have the priority, we have the high, normal, and low. Basically, if an agent has, at a time, we have more than one analysis to be run at the same time, whatever is mentioned as high, that will taken as a priority and run the analysis. If it is normal, whatever has the first schedule, or whatever is the oldest schedule analysis, that will run. And run as recipient or use agent's owner credential is very important. So run as a recipient. If you run as a recipient, basically, example, you want to deliver this analysis to China HR, UK HR, Asia HR, example I'm saying. So if you want to deliver to the China HR, that China HR should be able to see only China data. If you want to deliver to the UK HR should be able to see the UK data. So in that case, you should not run it as owner's credential, it as recipient credentials. So recipient will know, okay, this recipient has these roles. So this security, this data access is there. So what means, whenever this report runs, make sure the data is based on this recipient role. That is very important. And then schedule. How do you want to schedule it? Do you want to schedule it once or daily or weekly? So maybe I wanted to make it daily. If it's daily, what is the start date? So every 1 day or every 2 days or every 3 days, how it is, and what is the start date. But I am going to run it only once. And the start date is 5/16, 2:32 a.m. I could, so mine is Eastern time zone. So I wanted to run it in 10:40. So 15th, it is 10:40 p.m. in another 3 minutes. Okay, so let's do that. And then you rerun agent. Rerun means if for some reason, if it is failed, how frequently you want to retry it. Okay, if it is failed, I will say retry every 5 minutes till it gets successful. Okay, and the condition. So do you want to apply any condition? Basically, condition means run this analysis only if the number of rows in the analysis is greater than 0. See, by default, we have that condition. Row count of this analysis greater than 0, then only run it. You can test it. If it is greater than 0, it will return some data. This is true. And if you don't have, if you have another condition, example, you create a filters, right? If you can apply the filter here, if you wanted to get a condition, you can browse it, or if you want to create a new condition, you can create it. In the create condition, you can again click on the create button, and we can create. You can create the filters in the same way what we have done before, basically. Or as you don't use condition, send the data send the report as and when it is there. Even the report is blank, send it. Okay. And if you want, you can modify it. You can say that condition data is greater than 0. Say basically for this report, user may not have access to modify these conditions. And delivery content, where do you want to deliver it? Do you want to deliver it to the by default, it will be delivered to the your BI homepage. If you want to, sorry, destination is that delivery content. What content you want to deliver? I wanted to deliver the content of my analysis. That's right. If you want to deliver any other content, browse it and choose that analysis. And what is the subject you wanted to give? Let us say rainbow. Let me change the schedule as well to, let us say, 10:40. Delivery content, rainbow analysis. Okay, format. Do you want to keep a device default? Means basically HTML format. That's the device default format basically. So if you want to keep in plain text and CSS, we can do that, but our analysis is more applicable for HTML only or PDF. If it is HTML only, it will be more effective way of displaying the data. If we go with any other one, it might get problem. So I will keep a default format. And if condition is false, example, we have created a condition here. If condition is true, then send it. If condition is false, then do you want to send any other message saying that, hey, today there is no data is available, and we can say something like this here. Okay. And recipients. So recipients, basically, who is the recipient here? So basically, I have the recipient. This report user data will come by default as a recipient, and typically recipients will be only the people who are the users of this BI server, who has access to the BI reporting. Only those people come as users. They create email, and while creating email, also it will look at the people which are available in the Fusion applications. It won't look at we cannot give an email like a random email. I cannot give a random email. That email also should be from any of these users or any of the application roles. Only those people can be for those people, email IDs only can be given here. So it is a change happened since release 13. Before that, we could able to give a plain email IDs as well, but that's no more available now. We should able to give it only to the valid email IDs basically. Still popping up. See, it is the typical application roles. Whoever has this roles assigned, they will get the emails delivered. Basically, it will go by the roles as well. It became slow. Okay, so I'm keeping the default user, or else you can choose any user with the proper thing. And destinations, where do you want deliver? Do you want delivered to their home page and dashboard, or do you want to deliver to the devices? Do you want delivered to the specific devices like their email or their pager, digital phone, handheld device? Basically, if you want to do that, then typically what happens when the report runs, these recipients email IDs to the email ID, this report will get delivered. Actually, that's the meaning of it, along with the home page. When I say home page, whenever this report runs, an alert will come on the home page saying that the report is ready. So actions, do you want it to, if condition is true, basically, do you want to do any action? Okay, so let me save and run it. Our time, our 10:43 is up. So let me. So I'm just saving it as RB analysis agent. Just saved it and then schedule it to 10:45. Okay, let me. Okay, it will run at 10:45. Okay, so while it is running, so typically I'm going to these actions again. So once the condition is true, if this condition is true, do you want it to, once the condition is true and this report is run, report is run means once this once this report has run, do you want to invoke any other action? After this report, do you want to run any other report? Like a cycle, like a chain. Then what you can go here, you can say invoke a web service, invoke a Java method, or invoke another agent. That is, what should be that agent? That agent is scheduled for another report. You can say invoke agent, then you have to choose what agent is that. And then what happens whenever this report runs successfully, that analysis will get triggered out. Okay. And similarly, if it is false, so what agent should get triggered? Then we can define that agent as well. Got it? So we can define, if it is false, then invoke another agent, and that agent we have to choose. If we have any agent defined, then we can choose that agent. I didn't have any agent yet, so or else you can execute for recipient of current agent. We can run the report again, so we can do that. Right, so it is safe. So 10:45 that report is going to run, and if you want, you can run this report now as well. You can go ahead and you can run the report now, or else you can wait till 10:45. Then typically what happens, see, alert will come here. The alert came up here. So at 10:45 it ran, and the alert came up here saying that, see that this is alert saying that the recurrence is 1, last delivered is 2:45. Just now it got delivered, and if you want to get it, just open it. This is the report you got it. So you can either see it from here, or you can see it from here, and this is the report got ran and got delivered to you basically. This is how we can do that. So as your admin, you have provision to run it again. If you're not admin, typically you won't be seeing edit or run thing. You could only see the alert and the data basically. This is the alert. If you want to, example, if I go back to my dashboard again, if a dashboard again, I can keep alert here actually. If you're in your analysis, do you want to keep any alert, then I can get it and I can keep alert in my section. So this alert actually will, it doesn't have anything, just formatting the container. All it has is just alert. If a report ran, an alert will get blink. That's the meaning of this one basically. By default, it won't have anything. Even if you run it, by default, it has, basically as this some analysis is ran. That's why, sorry, this, so whatever alerts are there at the home at your application, that is coming up here basically. Okay. Right. So that is the dashboard. And one more thing I wanted to show you. In the dashboard, we have few properties called print. How do you want to print PDF or HTML? Do you want to export to Excel, export the current page, or you want to export all the pages? And if you think that if data got updated, you can click refresh, then automatically all the analysis will get run again. And add to briefing book. So add to briefing book is the one I was saying. Whenever you can add as many analysis as you want into a briefing book, analysis or reports, anything you want to add, you can add to the briefing book. Typically, a briefing book nothing but a PDF file basically. So it will say that, do you want to has an updatable briefing book or snapshot briefing book? Snapshot means it will have whatever data we have now, only that data will get captured. Updatable means whenever you run the briefing book, that data will get captured. So you want to get the snapshot of data, updatable data. Maybe some people want to get a snapshot because that's what they wanted to show, whatever data they have at this point of time. So follow briefing book navigation links. So follow briefing book navigation links basically. If you want to keep any links, so whatever navigation links are available here, so you want to keep the navigation links, then you can keep the navigation links. So you will know what it is at, and what location you wanted to save. I wanted to save to my Let's save it. Okay, so you successfully add the briefing book. So typically what happens if I go to home and if I go to my catalog, and if I go to my briefing book, see that it's a PDF file. So if you click on the PDF file, typically what happens, a PDF file will get generated. So if you click on that, then typically a PDF file will open which has the contents. So I added only one page. Typically the content was not properly given. So typically you should not, I'm sorry. So whenever you try playing with the briefing book or try playing with the PDF, you have to test it thoroughly basically, because it has some trellis in my dashboard. And sorry, not more than trellis, my dashboard has the video basically. That video cannot be converted into the PDF file. That is the reason it is showing as a blank. And also the trellis also won't get converted into the PDF file. And again, why it got page one? Because in my dashboard, I got only the I added in my dashboard, I added only the first page. I haven't added remaining things into my dashboard basically. That is the reason. If I run it. So here I went to page one and added to my briefing book. So I add to my briefing book, and typically if I want to HCM, I want this page to add to my briefing book, then typically I can go to this tab. So briefing book, nothing but whatever pages you wanted to add, you can add to your briefing book. That's all it is. That's the meaning of it basically. So I can go here and I can add this one as well to my briefing book. Which briefing book I will add? I have the briefing book chosen already. So if I have proper access, I will go to individual dashboards, whatever I have access to. I'll go to the individual dashboards or individual analysis, and I will keep adding them to my briefing book basically. So my briefing book will have all the information of all my analysis or dashboards or reports, can be anything. And I'll keep it with myself. My briefing book is already there. I'll keep it by myself, and as and when I want, as and when I wanted to brief it to my people, then I will just go and get the PDF file, and then I will just take it to my page one and page two. If I go to page two has a snapshot of what information I have. Whatever information I have, page 1 to 15, only that information will be added here to PDF file. I will take it to the my management, whoever it is, and I will brief it to them. So I can keep adding a PDF, a BA report, or an analysis, or a dashboard page, or anything. I can keep adding to my briefing book, and I will keep the briefing book with me. Basically, it doesn't schedule, nothing like that. Whenever you wanted to update anyone about anything, you will just take this briefing book, click on the PDF, and or also you can get the MHT file basically. MHT file again, kind of a HTML file where actually you can get your analysis like this. You can get that MHT file, and you can take the MHT file to your management. So next page, and then yeah, and then show it to your management basically. So this MHT file, what it did, it's not actually interacting with the server. It's actually download a HTML file to your local machine and displaying data here. That's why nothing will work here. No links will work here. It is just a plain previous and next page. That's it. Okay. And that is as videos won't render properly, that's why it is coming up like this. Okay. So we have seen that. We have seen the agents, and what else I missed? There are a few more properties you can define at dashboard level. So you can say whenever you're running the dashboard, basically, whenever you're running it, that dashboard, if you go to the bottom, basically every dashboard will have few links at the bottom, like edit or export or add to briefing book, there will be few links here. Those links are missing here. If you wanted to make those links, sorry, typically what you need to do, you have to go here, paste report links, go and customize, and here you want to export it, edit, refresh, add to briefing book, print, then you can save it and save it. And typically when you run the dashboard, typically you could able to see those links available for every analysis at the bottom, saying that you can add this one to briefing book, or you can edit this one, or you can print this one. You want to export to an Excel sheet, or you want to export to PDF, or you want to do that, then you can do that, those things with those links basically. For some users, maybe you need to provide them access to export, provide them access to print. Some users you don't want to give access to any of these, they may need to give access to briefing book. Then in those cases, we have to create multiple dashboards with that respect to access levels basically. And there is one more. Called okay, prompts button to on current page. So before prompts, I need to show you example. If you wanted to run this report and you wanted to share a link to this report so that they can bookmark the page and they can run it as and when they needed it. Okay, so in that case, what you can do, you can generate the bookmark link for this dashboard and you can share it to the people whoever you wanted to. So for that, you have to go here and create a bookmark link. When you click on the create a bookmark link, it will say that bookmark link suitable for saving or sharing this page has been created. It is shown as address bar. You can just take it off and you can go to any plain browser and you can open it, then automatically it will directly open the dashboard basically. And you can share this link to anyone, maybe your higher management or to any HR people, saying that, hey, if you wanted to see anything, you can click on this dashboard. Or you can, this bookmark link, you can use it as a link in another analysis. You can create another dashboard. In the dashboard, in the action link, you can give this report link in that analysis. You can do that as well. So you can use that too. Okay, so yeah, and saved customization. So save current customization. Save current customization is your report. You have kept some text, links, menus, and you want to keep those customization with you. What is customization? Along with the analysis, whatever we have, anything apart from analysis, whatever you have done, maybe you have modified the size of this container, maybe in this container you are capturing two analysis as a horizontal or a vertical representation way. Those additional things are called customizations. So you want to save those customizations, you can save the current customization and you can keep it with you. My RP dashboard customization one, something like that, and save for me and save for others. And you want to set permission saying that others can use it and only these people can have access to only people having these roles can access that customization, something like that. You can define it, and or you can save it for yourself. And do you want to make this as my default for this page? Make this my default for this page. Basically, they have multiple pages here: page 1, page 2, page 3, 4. And if you want to default this customization for any page, you can choose this one. And once you have that customization, then you can apply that customization to any other analysis. But it may not work every time, because in that dashboard, maybe we may not use the same analysis or same number of analysis to apply this customization. But at least it will work. It will quickly create one text box, and I mean two sections, and these three things come at the bottom, And whatever analysis, if we kept two analysis at the vertical way, then automatically any two analysis will form in a vertical way. Those customization will apply in any other new dashboards, basically, right? Yeah. So I think that I have covered. So what we will be covering tomorrow is whatever dashboard we have created it. Now, how can we embed into the Fusion applications? How can this report is visible only for some people? How come it won't be visible for other people? Maybe here, if I have created this analysis based on the HR, finance, and sales, means if the person has HR roles, finance roles, sales roles, then only that user can see the can see these can access these three analysis. If the person don't have HR role and has finance role and don't have sales role, even though we embed the dashboard access to the person, that person cannot run HR and sales, but they can run finance. So how it works with the roles. So tomorrow, maybe what we can do, we will embed this report, we'll bring this report into the application. So employee no need to go to the BA server to access any report. Typically, they can go to any page or they can go to my dashboard page. In the my dashboard page, we can make that report visible here. So we will also create, we will also enable a report here. So is that financial person can see the journals report, sales person can see the sales report, HR person can see the HR report. In the same screen, how those reports will be vary, those things we will see tomorrow. And tomorrow also, finally, I will cover the KPI, key performance indicator. That is another kind of reporting along with the infolets. So those three things we'll cover tomorrow, and we can finish off the OTBI and move ahead with the BA publisher. Okay. So any questions?
Actually, do we have any documentation on this? If you can share us, it will be a great help for us.
Yeah, documentation. Yeah, I have my PPD, but these are very basic. So, yeah, I mean, I will share this one anyway for sure. But whatever steps I just did, maybe I will try to add that in my document as well and try to share it.
Yeah, at least you can share this document so that maybe it will be helpful for us as a beginning.
Yeah.
So and we can go through any the portal if we get any doubt, or if we can discuss that.
Right. Yeah, we have to basically analytics is more actually more we try basically. Nothing will the first instance it won't work. So we have to keep more and more practice.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, then you can drop off, and then we'll meet tomorrow if none of you has any questions. Okay, then